Hey everyone, welcome back to the Evil Within. This is an Akumu, no upgrade, no locker, no flashbolt, no freeze bolt playthrough. So this is chapter 2. This is where the game sort of starts properly. We get introduced to some of the game's core mechanics. This chapter isn't full on the full experience of the game, but you do get to see how some things work. Notably, we get an introduction to traps and fire, as well as weapon pickups. So I'm going to go over all that as it happens. Really important stuff to get used to on Akumu, and definitely on a no upgrade run like this, where you don't have the firepower that you would on a normal run. So you definitely have to take advantage of traps and fire as much as possible. So this is the first proper enemy of the game. For those who are wondering, you cannot get a critical hit on this guy. So if you shoot him in the head and expect his head to pop open, it's not going to happen. This is just a regular kill every time. Obviously, if you're on New Game Plus, you can use any of your other weapons to kill this guy. It doesn't matter, but all I have now is the handgun, so that's what you'll have to do. I cut out a lot of the filler in this chapter. I try to just get right to the point, right to the combat, because I think this chapter kind of gives people the wrong impression, just like chapter 1 does, where people think that this is going to be a chapter focused on stealth, and it does kind of want you to do that, especially with this next enemy coming up. You essentially are forced into doing a sneak kill on him, but the rest of the chapter I don't use any sneak kills, at least not any raw sneak kills. Just because a game has stealth kills, I wouldn't necessarily say it is a stealth game or has a stealth focus. Like, Sekiro came out last year, and I criticized that game a lot at first because of its stealth mechanics. I didn't think they were very good, or they weren't focused enough, but it clearly wasn't really a point of the game. Like this game, it's there to get you some kills before enemies really hone in on you, but other than that, it's not meant to be the actual goal of the combat. So kind of the same thing here. If you can use it to get some kills here and there, great. But other than that, it's not going to be your main plan of attack by any means. In the Evil Within 2, you could make it more of an integral part of your plan, but that game also has much more broken stealth. It's a lot easier to exploit. The game all around is a lot easier than this game. And don't get me wrong, that's a great game, but I think that game focusing more on stealth may have been the wrong decision. It kind of took away from the combat a little bit and made enemy placements and enemy AI worse as a result. So right here is that one sneak kill I'll be doing in this run, or in this level, I mean. So after here, we're going to get introduced to fire and some environmental hazards as well as traps. So I'm going to be utilizing all of them because there's not much ammo in this stage. Enemies drop ammo, but it's up to RNG. It sort of has an adaptive difficulty kind of style like Resident Evil 4 in terms of dropping ammo. So if you're running low on a certain ammo, there's a higher chance that that type will drop. But I don't like to rely on that, so I want to make full use of this stuff in the environment. Which is one thing that I think separates this from a lot of other games like this, is using the environment. It's very, very well done. So here's one environmental hazard and a use of fire. So you can light these hay bales on fire, and you can just let enemies just run right into them and they die instantly. Any regular enemy that gets caught on fire, it's an instant kill. So it doesn't matter, even the higher health ones, the fat ones, the doppelgangers, they all die from fire. So if you can catch them on fire through a match or a torch or whatever, just do it, because that'll kill them instantly. And right there I disarmed that tripwire. I could have lured the enemies into that, and then it would have blown up and it probably would have killed them, but I decided to use the hay bale for one match, get the trap part from disarming it, and came in here and got 5 matches. So I'd say that's about as efficient as I could have done that. And I grab a bottle, plan is to use it to get a sneak kill on an enemy. If you hit an enemy in the head with it, you can do a sneak kill while they're stunned. So here I'm trying to just sneak kind of around him. I didn't really want to go for a sneak kill, but I wanted to wait till he was close to the hay bale and then set this one on fire, but I kind of messed it up, so I had to go around. So there's 3 enemies. Well, there he is. He comes right behind me. There's another one behind me and one off to the side, and I'm trying to lure all 3 of them into this fire. And you have to watch out because when enemies catch on fire, they can still come up and grab you. So it is an instant kill, but there's this little window where you have to still watch out. Like, you can't just set them on fire and stop paying attention. You have to make sure they're down completely. So it adds some extra kind of unpredictability to the fight. So I got some more handgun ammo, which is really, really nice because I only had 3 bullets. So here there's another trap. So we have bear traps. Enemies can step in them, and then you can light them on fire with a match. Super effective, and it's really awesome, especially in this tight space right here, because there's pretty much no way they're going to step around it. So you get 2 kills. It takes 2 matches, but they're both gone. Don't have to worry about it. And as far as I know, if an enemy is in a bear trap, they won't do that desperation attack while they're on fire, so you shouldn't have to worry about it. And like I talked about with Vanquish, knowing where your pickups are, I knew those last 2 matches were still there, so I just went back and grabbed them. Matches are, I can't even tell you how important they are in a run like this, where my weapons are going to be at base damage, because fire is still going to be an instant kill, so I need to be at max matches all the time. So here I'm trying to shoot him in the leg, because when you shoot an enemy in the leg while they're running, they fall over, and when they're down, you can throw a match on them. So if an enemy's sprinting, I would recommend shooting them in the leg. It's a little hard because of the way they run. They're animated to run really sporadically and awkwardly to make them hard to hit. But if you hit them, they're going to go down. And that's easier than shooting them in the head, I think. If you shoot them in the leg twice while they're standing still, same thing, they fall over, but you have to shoot them twice. So it costs 2 bullets. Here I wasn't sure where remaining enemies were at, so I was kind of just waiting it out. Again, not a lot of resources, so I really have to be careful. There's more tripwires in this level, so here I am. I'm trying to lure them over here. But this is hard because enemies are fast when they chase you, and I have to crouch under this tripwire, and it really slows me down. So I have to make sure I have a good lead on them before I start crouching. And there I crouched probably a little too early, but it's okay. I still get the kill, I think. Yeah. So 1 kill, again. I could have used that. I could have disarmed it for trap parts, but I decided I'd use it. And right there, he stood up too fast, so I couldn't get a match off. So that's another thing. Enemies will stand up at different speeds. Some enemies, they'll lay on the ground for probably 3 seconds before they try to get up. Some it'll be 1 second, and then they'll stand up super fast. Even the animation for them standing up varies in speed. So they could be on the ground for 3 seconds and only take half a second to stand up or something like that. It's always different. I know there's an enemy or 2 left, so I was waiting to see if they would show themselves so I could use the remaining tripwires. In the next chapter, I'll really get into the trap parts, what they're for, and why it's important to kind of the decision-making behind using the traps against the enemies and disarming them for your own good. Because every trap, it's essentially a decision you have to make. Do you want to use it to kill the enemies right then and there, or do you want to put it towards ammo for the crossbow, which you could potentially get better kills later on? And right there, since the dynamite was attached to the building and he was too far away from it, it didn't kill him, but it still knocked him over. So I got to throw a match on him. So I still got something out of it. So this chapter is about over, but there's so much to talk about just in terms of the fire and the matches that I didn't get to. I'll try and cover them in the next couple chapters, because past that there's going to be even more to talk about. So here it's just this final part where there's a lot of enemies who just kind of rise up off the ground. In all my playthroughs, I have never stuck around here to find out if there's items or if killing the enemies does anything. I run by them every single time. And here I actually almost get caught. And as you can see, my stamina meter, I'm running out of stamina in just a couple seconds because it's at base level and I'm not going to upgrade it. So you have to really, really manage that as well. So not only manage your ammo in your matches, but you got to manage your stamina really well in a run like this. So that wraps up chapter 2. Fun chapter, really good to learn some new stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.